Welcome back to the Undirected. In our last episode, we sat down with a realtor and talked about the home buying experience, what to expect, key red flags to watch for, and how to make smart decisions when purchasing a property. If you haven't seen that episode yet, make sure you check it out. Today, we are taking it one step further. We are joined by a professional property inspector, Rob Bergen, someone who looks beyond the surface and helps you understand what's really happening inside a home or commercial building. If you are buying, investing, or simply want to protect your money, this conversation is for you. And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe our channel so we can keep bringing you more valuable episodes. Let's get into it. Welcome to the podcast, Rob.
Yeah, thanks.
How are you today?
I'm good. How about
Good.
you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming and in accepting our invitation.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure. Thanks
tell
for
me
having
about
me.
yourself, please. A bit about where are you born and where are you exactly from?
Okay, so I am born in Paraguay, South America.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I moved here in 2011, and yeah, everything started there. I started in construction, did some residential painting, custom homes, and all that. Worked in a lot of like artista homes. Um, Always had a curious mind for construction and how everything worked like together, right? Um, Went into self-employed, like contracting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Started with painting, went into like finishing basements and any kind of contract work, like did some built some decks and stuff like that.
And before that, you said you were working as a construction in a construction company, right?
Yeah, painting. Yeah,
Painting, okay,
yeah,
painting
yeah,
a wall and all kind of stuff.
yeah.
Okay, and
And then
that's
from
where.
that, I went into more like finishing, renovation jobs and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did you had any previous experience before coming to Canada about any painting or
No,
no?
no.
So that's
Even if like in South America, everything is done different, as you
yeah.
know too, I'm sure. And
How come? I mean, tell me a
well,
bit.
I mean, even just building like the construction materials, right? In South America, everything's built with brick.
Makes sense.
You don't have basements. There's few exceptions there, but
Very few.
yeah, you don't like you're not building on the type of clay that you have here, right?
Makes sense.
You're building on other materials and foundations and everything. Everything is different over there. Uh, but
What were you doing over there, though? I mean, what kind of business were you in?
I went to study for graphic design.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, not very relatable, I know, but it's yeah, I didn't finish it. Didn't go where I was planning to.
Mm-hmm.
But I studied graphic design in Paraguay. It didn't go really where I wanted it to. So I moved here and yeah, needed to get some work. So that's why I started in construction.
Did you use your a bit of skills you get to learn in the graphic designing? Did you get to use them here?
I did a little bit, yeah. I did some freelance jobs, created some logos for some companies that, like I posted some ads on Kijiji and got some work like that.
Okay.
But definitely a tough market. Like you have to be able to work nonstop. Like you have to build a name for yourself, right? Because since the internet, like it's just you can hire somebody from anywhere, right?
Makes sense.
And
Totally.
you just have to work really hard to get your name out there, to be well known, to get enough jobs to actually make a good living with that, I find.
That's right. You said you came here 2011 and then you worked in a construction company. You had any relatives or anybody here
I
before?
did, yeah. That obviously made it easier, right?
Mm.
My sister lived here, and so it was a lot easier for me to get started, right? I had a place to stay, And before I moved here, even I had a job lined up.
Okay.
It's because I knew somebody here, and they were asking around if there's any work I could start off. So within the first week I was here, I was working, right?
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you had a grip from the very early days, I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah.
That's good. I see so many of the new immigrants, they're having hard time finding jobs.
It is. Yeah.
I used to work in different jobs, and you always used to get different resumes from different people. Somebody from Ukraine, somebody from
Mm-hmm.
other provinces, other countries. And if you already have something planned for you before coming to Canada, that makes your job easier. And
It does. Yeah.
because expenses, man, you're paying expenses from the very first day you land here.
It's expensive. Yeah. It's gotten really expensive. Uh, I I think another thing is that if you're willing to do whatever, like if you're just a hardworking person, you're willing to start at the bottom and work anywhere. I think it's not as hard to find work. But yeah, if you want a good paying job, then it's definitely harder
Of
to
course,
find
and
that.
you have to upskill a
Yeah.
bit as well to
Oh
live
yeah.
there. Totally makes sense. And you have a daughter as well, right?
I have 3 kids. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw your stories. How young are they?
They are 7, 5, and 2.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You got to get good time to spend with them?
Yes. With this job, one of the benefits is you work um, as much as you want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I am my kind of my own like self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, so this job is like being self-employed. So I set my own schedule. So if
Makes
I
sense.
need some time off, I just book my time off, and yeah,
How's the inspection career working out for you so far?
it's been really good. There's lots of demand for it in Winnipeg, especially since I started. So this is my third year.
Mm-hmm.
So um, there's more and more people that are wanting an inspection, and that's a good thing. Like years ago, like 5 to 10 years ago, home inspections were not as there weren't as many because a lot of home inspectors were doing it on the side, like contractors that would do it on the side,
Mm.
and it's there was a problem of maybe making some like having some opinions about stuff that scared people away, right? So inspections in Winnipeg have been going up, like the number of inspections, I think. Our company actually was founded by a realtor
Oh, really? Okay.
because of the lack of good home inspectors, right?
Mm.
So founded by a realtor that was looking to approach the whole home inspection system in a different way, right? That it's not, you're always worried that the realtor is always worried that the home inspectors are going to scare them away, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
every house has some
Some
issues,
flaws,
right?
yeah,
Some
100%.
flaws, some issues. But I've had houses where for one person it's a runaway, and for the next one it's just the perfect house, right? Because it has to be put into a perspective, right? Somebody's willing to put more money into a house that needs some upgrades or some repairs, and others want the perfect, finished house, ready to move in, no issues. And we deal with those just in a different way, right? Some people, they want a new house, completely ready to move in. And there we talk more about how to maintain it, right? If the house is in good condition, right? If there's not a lot of upgrades, right? They put a new roof on, they put a new furnace, new AC, everything, like all the important things are new. Um, Now we have to talk about how to maintain it, right?
Yes, yes, yes. What do you cover in the inspection report? What do you write and explain? And those are the major things playing role in the inspection.
Every inspection that we do, we look at all the roof structure, foundation, plumbing, HVAC. So that's heating and cooling, right? Um, Electrical, and then we look at in the interior, the exterior finishes. So and in the report, we cover all those. So we take pictures of everything.
Is it a lengthy report?
Sorry, what?
Is it a lengthy report? I mean, how many pages the report is of?
Length, yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, depends on what type of inspection it is, but most houses it's you're looking at a 50 to 60 page report.
Okay.
It sounds a lot, but it's they're not all full of words that you have to read through.
Uh-huh.
It's pictures. It's a lot of information that insurance companies will ask. So it's basically your reference kind of to know to answer the insurance company any questions they have. What type of plumbing? What type of electrical? Shingles, we can't always, or usually we can't say the exact age, just because we don't know when they were installed. We can look at them and say, give a good guesstimate, like,
5, 10,
these
7
look like
years.
5 to 10 years old.
Makes sense.
Knowing what type of shingles they are is important, just to have an idea of how long they may be able to last, and then just the overall condition of them. But anything that sorry, where were we? So yeah, the inspection report covers all that with pictures and comments. The first page, so the summary of the report, will have all the things that need to be repaired or any issues, right? We have different colors that we use for depending on how urgent it is, right? So anything in red will be like this needs to be done immediately,
Urgently.
right? Whatever is blue is more of a suggestion. Red is this needs to be done or needs further review or something like that, right? Let's say there's a foundation issue, right? That's typically in red because that's something you need to do right away, is right.
And what are some of the things that shouldn't be red, that shouldn't be in the red color?
Well, suggestions that will have an improvement, but aren't like they don't need to be done right away. It's like first day. So like what we see often is there's no carbon monoxide detector in a house, but there's a gas furnace, right? This is an easy thing to do, but one of the more important ones because that can save a life, right? If your furnace has an issue and carbon monoxide is leaking out, that's
a big problem.
Yeah. So that would be in red. If there's an exhaust vent missing in the bathroom or in the kitchen, that's going to be more of a blue comment because that is a benefit. You adding an exhaust fan could be beneficial, but
it's not life threatening.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are some of the other things that should not be in red color and needs to be taken care of right away?
Any maintenance information. So we also include information of how to keep things the way they are, right? So maintaining your landscaping, like just general comments that can just benefit the buyer in knowing, right? So like HRV systems. A lot of people that move into a house with an HRV, they've never seen one, they've never used one, so they don't know anything about it. So we have to explain it, and our report also explains it really well.
Okay.
So those are usually in green. So anything that's just maintenance information is green. Yeah.
Okay. And what are the most important parts of a home that affect safety and value?
That would be a roof, structure and foundation, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical. So these are all things that can affect, for example, insurance. So let's say, for example, you have aluminum wiring. Most insurance companies now, they will actually ask you to remove it or replace it. Uh, and insurance companies, the policies change too, right? When I started, so 3 years ago, um, aluminum was more of a, it has to be certified. So electricians would have to go to the house and pigtail all the aluminum wires with copper, and in the panel use antioxidating paste to make sure it's all safe, right? Aluminum is not a problem in itself. It's the way we use power these days, right? So most of our switches and plugs are compatible with copper. So when they get connected with aluminum, that can cause issues with the connection, right? Because aluminum expands and contracts more with the heat,
With the
right?
heat,
So
yeah.
So nowadays, insurance companies want that replaced, and that can be a high cost, right?
Right.
So let's say your whole basement is aluminum. Now you're looking at possibly a $10,000 to $15,000 cost to replace that, right?
That's a big expense.
Exactly. Your roof, right? If your shingles are at the end of life, now you're looking at $8,000 to $10,000, right? I mean, it really depends on the size of the house, but your typical 1,200 square foot bungalow, right? It's gonna be 8 to 10, maybe even a little bit more.
Makes sense.
Same with HVAC, right? Your furnace, if it's end of life, which 15 to 20 years is the average lifespan. So if we see a furnace that's over 15 years, we let the buyer know, this one is getting close. So expect to maybe spend $5,000 to $7,000 in the next few years, right? So even if it's not right aways, it's good for the buyer to know what can be expected, right? So that they can budget for that. These surprises can be really expensive when you don't know about them, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
So plumbing, same with plumbing, right? Some older houses, they still have galvanized plumbing. That's another thing insurance companies don't want to see. So that has to be replaced. And they need to bring in a plumber, get a quote, just to get an idea of what to expect, right? And for them also to negotiate, right, with a price. So it's either the seller maybe wants to replace it or they get a discount, right?
Makes sense. And how many types of inspections do we have? Is there any type that you can choose to get your new home inspected?
Yeah, like
Detailed or not detailed, something like that.
yeah, I mean, we have the 1 hour verbal consultation.
Okay.
That has no report. It's just
That's basically
1 hour of my time
walking
and
around and
walking around answering questions. Basically, depending on the size, if it's a very large house, I will usually tell the client, if there's a specific concern, we'll look at that first, and the rest of my time will, just whatever they want to see or look at, right?
okay.
If it's a smaller house, I try, and if there's no specific concern, usually try to just walk through the whole house, look at all the mechanicals, right? Get the age. I always tell them, like, take notes. I'm not documenting anything, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the full inspection is always better, because you get a
Bigger picture
the
of everything.
PDF document with all the information in there. You don't have to call back to ask anything. It's all there.
Makes sense.
Um,
Because you already got a detailed
but
inspection.
yeah, we
of
have
everything.
that one. So the 1 hour verbal, the full inspection with report. We do also offer the new home warranty. So somebody buys a brand new home, they get possession, and we'll come in and just do a full inspection on it. Obviously, in that type of inspection, we look more for just building practices. Was the work done well? Like, does it meet code? We're not code inspectors, but we will look at things. We do update ourselves with codes, and this is also something we can do more research on if needed, right? And basically, what that is too, it gives the buyer or the new homeowner a way to contact their builder, right, and show them a like a an official document, right? And then if they want to open up a claim, then the process is easier than if they would go and take their own pictures and yeah. I also have my I'm certified to do septic inspections. Also wood fire appliances. So I have my WET certification, WETT. It stands for Wood Fire Transfer Technology. So yeah, those are the type of inspections. We also do air quality and radon. Yeah, and then commercial inspections too.
Commercials too.
Yeah.
For the apartment buildings.
Yeah, apartment buildings. Yeah, whatever.
And businesses too, right?
Yes, businesses too.
There must be some price difference too when you just give them a detailed inspection with everything red and blue color, and then somebody just want a vocal inspection, right? There should
Yes,
be
there's a price difference. Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
How much the inspection usually cost?
So the verbal consultation is $250. That's not GST included.
Okay.
And then the full inspection is starts around 500. That's for up to 900 square feet, and then 525 over 900 square feet.
And how long usually the detailed inspection takes?
The full inspection usually takes about 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on the size, obviously.
Of course, yeah, I was about to mention that.
But yeah, average time is we try to allow for 3 hours just in case, you know, it's a new home for somebody, and some people, some buyers, they have lots of questions, and we allow ourselves 3 hours to be able to answer all those questions, right? Don't want to make it feel rushed.
Makes sense.
The way it usually works is we ask the buyer to show up 90 minutes after the starting time. Let's say we book one for 9 a.m. So 10:30 is when we would suggest the buyer. Yes, because that gives me an hour and a half to look at everything undistracted.
And tell them that
And
what
then-
you have explored so far.
Yes, and then when they arrive, usually that's when I'm almost done. And then yeah, then we do the full walkthrough of everything and answer all the questions.
After being in this business for 3 years, what kind of problems do you see in the houses when you go for inspections? Vocal or detail one, doesn't matter really, but some of the problems you see in most of the houses in Winnipeg.
Most houses, or all houses, we talk about grading. So grading outside is a big thing. It's not a very costly thing to do. It's something that people can do themselves. It's more of a maintenance thing, right? Our clay content in Winnipeg is like that. It moves houses so much if it's not properly graded. So yeah, we educate people on every house to maintain that sloped away from the house, so that water from heavy rains, snow melt, that it moves away from the house instead of towards the house, right? On the age of the houses, if it's older houses, what we see often is that there's a lack of ventilation. With newer homes, it's oftentimes maintenance. So the systems are all in place, but the maintenance, like I don't know if like some builders or some, I guess some, if there wasn't a home inspection when the people bought the house, there was nobody there to explain how something works, right? So I find very often that newer homes that have these great systems like an HRV, that they are completely clogged up. They've never been cleaned. And
how often do people get them cleaned, the air vents or?
Well, they should be cleaned every 3 to 4 months.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I I see it fairly often, a little bit too often, that they just look like they've never been cleaned. So these are things that, they may seem minimal, but they do affect.
They can play a bigger impact.
Yeah. So in a new home, the HRV system is very important because the new home is built so tight, like windows and doors and walls. Everything is built so tight that it can't breathe. And the HRV is basically the lungs of the house. So if that's not doing its job, then you're most likely going to be looking at maybe mold issues, and stuff like that, right?
How expensive is it? Sorry to interrupt you, but how expensive is it to get the ducts or the vents clean?
It's not I mean,
As expensive.
it's just cleaning, right? It's just like a 10 minutes of your time in a day. So you take out the filters, you clean them. They're not disposable filters.
Yeah.
They just need to be cleaned, washed, dried off a little bit. They can even stay a little bit wet. It's not too much of an issue because the HRV is built to take that to collect that moisture and dispose of it, right? A good practice for any homeowner that has all these systems is to have that checked once a year, right? So anybody with a furnace should get their furnace checked once a year.
Once a year at least.
And if you have these other appliances or systems, then they should be checked at the same time. Anything that you can catch early, you will be saving money, right? If you don't catch it early, it can become a bigger problem. It can be costing you more, right?
Makes sense. Eventually it can cause fire too, right?
I don't know how or if it would cause a fire with the HVAC system.
I mean, not cleaning the ventilation systems enough or not getting them cleaned.
More of a problem with mold and air, just bad air quality. What you're starting to do is, if your HRV is running, you're basically you're pushing air out, right? And if the filter is dirty, and it's usually the intake filter that gets dirty because it's bringing fresh air from outside. If that's clogged up, it's really just pushing air out and not replacing that air. So you're creating a negative pressure in the house. So with that, you're looking at most likely higher radon levels if there is radon in your area. And just anywhere where there's a bit of room for draft, like exterior doors, windows that are not closed completely, you're going to get air through there, and that's how they start freezing up in winter. So it affects other systems in the house if it's not kept clean.
When you're doing detail inspection in some of the houses, let's say they are about 30 years old, the house is 25 years old. Before going to the inspection, you know the age of the house is?
Yes.
Yeah, right? So let's say it's 30 years old, right? So before going there for the inspection, you already have some precursors, right? That this is what I will find in this house and this may not be there. So what are some of the things that you already know would be there?
Yeah. So different systems are related to different ages, like 1970s. There's a high chance there's going to be aluminum wiring in the house. With 1950s, you are more likely to encounter ungrounded plugs in some areas of the house, which is not a big deal, but it's something people want to know. And if it's a 20-year-old house, what I look for first thing is always the roof, because most likely still the original shingles, and it will be time to replace them soon, right? 30-year-old house, you might be looking at a type of plumbing that was common in that era or that age. It's called Poly B. It's the gray PEX piping. It looks like the modern PEX plumbing, but it has a certain composition that, especially with uh, chlorine treated water,
Okay.
like in our system, um, that makes it weak over time. So I had some in my house. My house is in 85. Um, it was common in that time. We only had 2 lines in our house. They both burst, and we had water in our basement.
Oh, okay.
Um, so they have a they're known to burst very easily, so they're weak. And insurance companies also want to see those removed. There are some exceptions that they will insure it, but those premiums are usually really high, and you don't really want to be in an exception, right? And in that case, right? So, um, let's see other. I mean, older houses like 1950s and 40s. 40s, you're still looking at some knob and tube. So anything before the 50s, most likely. I mean, you're sure that there has been knob and tube. So usually what I look at beforehand, has there been knob and tube removed with a permit? Or maybe sometimes even in the listing, they will mention that knob and tube was removed. We still look for it, because if there's still some in there, it's more of a safety thing. And obviously the buyer wants to know, right? We can't always, because we can't look through the wall. We can open, plates, and
Yes.
we have our ways to check. And if we can't find any there, then that's good, right? But yeah, those are things that I know beforehand.
Is there any some of the things those are serious and not serious? I mean, what are some of the things that's serious in the detail inspection, and some of them you can just scroll or flip a page?
I mean, you shouldn't. You should go through the whole report, I would say.
You shouldn't.
You should, yeah.
You should.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's. I know it might be not very interesting for some, but it doesn't take very long. Like like I said, like it's a lot of pictures and short comments, and it's more of a, like, let's say you go to a bedroom, right? In the section of bedrooms, it's just going to tell you what type of flooring, what type of ceiling and walls, what type of window, electrical, heating. That's it, right? So it takes you a few seconds to go through that, right? So
I mean, with the pictures, it's a lot easier to understand what's happening here.
yes, yeah. And then any issues, we take a picture of the issue itself, right? And it's usually also location tagged, so you know which bedroom or which bathroom is it, right? And I always encourage buyers to go through the whole report. I actually had a buyer call not too long ago, and it was a complaint
Okay.
about
the inspection.
about the
your company
inspection
did.
of from a year ago.
Okay. So inspection was done a year ago,
Yes.
and then they're calling to complain about it.
Yes, they were. The complaint was that I had missed a few things.
Okay.
And my first response to that is, okay, it's a year ago. I've seen a lot of different houses. The address. So I look up the report, because we also keep a copy of the
The
report.
track makes sense.
And it's because we are there to help, right?
Yes.
Anybody who gets a report or an inspection, a full inspection with a report with us, we keep it so that the buyer can call us for consultation for questions, right?
100%. And how long do you keep it? Sorry, just
For as long as the person owns the house. I mean, we just keep it in our system,
Okay.
right?
let's switch to the other.
Yeah. So I look at the report, and he sent me a list
Okay.
of the complaints he had, and every single item was in the report. So
Okay.
I asked him, like, have you looked at the whole report? And he forgot. He wasn't sure. So told him, have a look at the report. He found it, and he went to the report, and he called back later to apologize.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I always encourage people, don't just look at the summary.
Yeah.
It's easy to just go through the summary. I mean, even if he had looked at the summary, they were all in the summary, right? So I think it was just maybe not maybe forgot to look at the report or something like that, right?
They didn't pay too much attention on
Yeah, exactly. So it's yeah, it's very important to look it over, and it's an easy to. There's a you can just click if you want to go to bedrooms. It'll just bring you to the bedroom, right, in the digital file, right?
Makes sense.
So you don't have to just read through or search for anything. It's all labeled and categorized.
Makes sense. And when you know or when you read the whole report, I mean, that's when you as well aware of that what's bad and what's good in this house or what needs to be
Yes.
changed or
Yeah.
replaced, right? What needs more maintenance.
The summary is more of a almost a to-do list,
Hmm.
and you can keep that as a to-do list. But the whole report is still important to go through. Yeah.
100%, 100%. Do you think people panic when companies do inspection?
Yeah, there's still some that.
They do panic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Realtors still, there are still some realtors that panic too.
Hmm.
And I've gotten the occasional, you know, don't ruin this deal kind of comment.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. But that's not how it works, right?
Yes.
It's not me who ruins the deal. It's the information that the buyer gets, or the potential buyer, that brings them to the decision to not go with it, right?
That's right.
But we do our best, like I said, to stay neutral, just to give information.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
it is. So.
I always say it's like you'd almost want an inspector for when you're buying a used vehicle, right? Because you go to an auto dealer and they make it all nice and shiny, and you buy it, and then all of a sudden you notice all these issues that it has, right?
Yeah.
And if
The
you had an
dash-
inspector there with you, he could tell you all these things, and you could still say, okay, well, I'm willing to put some money into this, but this gives me at least a way to get a price that makes sense, right?
Do people really want to book the inspections or they just want to pass it just because
It
they think it's not needed?
does depend a little bit on the market. I find that if there's a bidding war on a house, there's lots of people that want the house. Oftentimes, people don't want to put an inspection condition because they know that there is more likely to be some offers without a condition, right? And that's sometimes the issue, right?
And they won't get the house at that point if somebody is putting an
No,
offer
if there's an
without
offer
inspection.
with no conditions, and there's another offer that has an inspection condition, I mean, more times, I think it's just going to be the one without conditions, because it's just an easier deal, right?
And also buyers, if somebody is offering or writing in the offer that we need to get the inspection done, and if it passes, we might go ahead with the buying process. And for the buyers, it's a deal, ruin a deal, as you said. Inspection might ruin a deal because maybe there is something that needs to be changed or replaced, and maybe that can turn off the buyer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for the sellers,
I mean, it's the same with a buyer's agent hiring or recommending to go with an inspector, right? Sellers these days are more or less worried about inspections ruining the deal because of how inspections are done these days, right? At least from our company that I know, right? We try not to scare people away. We just try to make them aware of everything, right? So even if there's a major issue, right? Let's say a foundation, like a foundation crack that needs to be repaired, we tell them what most likely needs to be done, what kind of cost they could look at, and they get to decide, right? It's not so much you shouldn't buy this home, right? It's here's the issue, here's what needs to be done, and
You decide from there on.
Yes.
What if there are some of the things that you can't really see? Let's say leaking. I mean, leaking behind the walls or the pipes that can't be seen, but
Leaking behind walls, most likely you will see it soon if it's, unless it's a very, very minor leak, right?
I'm talking about the minor leaks. Yeah,
Yeah, the minor
the
leaks.
minor leaks.
I mean, they will still show up eventually.
Sometime, yeah, for sure.
Um,
Because it's gonna cause some problems
yeah.
eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything inside the house, like where we can see the plumbing, we look at that too. But if it's behind the walls, uh,
First of all, I guess the water bill will explain, right? Because if it's
but then again, I mean, for for you to notice it on a water bill, you will most likely see it on the walls as well. Um, and it depends where the water leak is as well. Like, if it's on an exterior wall where water gets, it's kind of starting to leak, like on the outside, maybe less. But if it's somewhere on the inside, interior of the house, like,
hard to find.
yes, it's hard to find, but it's also, well, no, it would be easier to find because you would see drywall damage, right? So drywall or any um, like wood framing, baseboards, they show very quick that there's a moisture issue because they swell up.
Yes, yes, yes.
So usually you can tell by the damage how what kind of leak it is, right? Is this like a, the foundation walls are condensating or sweating, right? Um, that can be a very minor thing, a very more common thing. It's not gonna show lots of water damage, but you can notice it sometimes on the baseboard because they're usually closer to the
Yeah,
floor
yeah, yeah.
and yeah. But any leak inside the inside the house, bathroom, kitchen, anything on the second floor, maybe, right? You'll see that right away.
And apart from leaking, minor leakings, so let's say you're doing inspection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now what you can see is what you can explain and write in the report. But I'm sure it's a big house. So many things are put together to make it operational to live for the ventilation and water thing and all that. There could be some of the things that me as a homeowner can't see and don't know about,
Mm-hmm.
but you who is running an inspection company and going to different houses every day have much more big experience, have seen older and new houses. You know much more and better than me what's behind these walls and what could be a problem, but it's not visible.
Mm-hmm.
But there could be a problem depending on, let's say it's a 50 or 60-year-old house. How do you go from there if the house is, I mean, to create an accurate report,
Well, it
or is it
then
totally?
that's just a limit that we have to accept. Like, we're limited to what we can visually see, right? Uh, what's behind the walls is, I mean, usually a good guess depending on the age, um, type of insulation and stuff like that. On newer homes, I mean, again, we do rely on the process, right? We have a code that gets followed, right? So when a house gets built, every time, if insulation is put in, it has to be inspected and signed off that it's done properly, and then they can continue with the next process, right? Obviously, it's not always 100% perfect, but usually it's done well because of that system, right? Because if it's not done well and it gets caught, then that has
Makes sense.
that has.
And I'm sure you must be using some sort of equipment while doing the inspections, right?
Yes, we have thermal cameras. So the thermal camera, it's not a moisture detector, and it also cannot see through walls, right? That is a misconception of the device. What you can see from the walls is if there's missing insulation. Um, if there is a leak, like an active leak, while at the inspection, and it has to be a little bit of more of a leak, like not a minor leak. You could see it from the wall, but only because whatever is like moisture will be more cold, right? So that's the only reason. And then you also have to know how to interpret the what you see in the thermal camera, right? It's not just blue and red or the colors, and this means like this is all water. This is you know, there's different things to know about, like the infrared camera. There's also reflections, like it reflects heat. So if you look at a door with glass or a metal that reflects and you're standing close to it, it'll actually detect some of your heat, right?
Makes sense.
So it's just like everything else, we had to go through a course to learn and understand the technology, and yeah, it's
And this is totally a different question what we are talking about, but how long do you have to study to get a certified home inspection license?
uh, mine my course that I took me about 3 to 6 months. Um, I took two courses, uh, but then I also did other things like my septic and my wet.
Just to up level
And
skill.
yeah, so everything has courses to get better at
100%.
different things, right?
Electrical, plumbing, everything. And is it expensive course? I mean, somebody who's looking to get into this profession.
It depends where you go. Like, yeah,
How,
I mean,
how about UFM or Winnipeg? Did you do it here?
no, I
No?
did mine at Carson Dunlop and Internachi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is it transferable then?
It doesn't need to be like it. Internachi is you know, it's internationally
Accepted.
recognized.
Okay.
Um, the Carson Dunlop and Internachi both, they're just different schools that offer the certification.
Okay.
Right. But our company requires has a very high standard, so they need us to get both.
Is there any pattern that people should follow to read the report? Or is very basic?
It's very basic. I mean, it's
Just
a
look at it and
50,
understand.
60 page document that that's very easy to go through,
Okay.
but it's usually, you know, on inspection day, it's, or at least more often, that either that same day or within the next 2 3 days is the condition is due, so they have to make a decision by then, right?
Very fast, yeah.
So we try to deliver the report on the same day or at least within 24 hours. And I mean, that's more than enough time to look
To
through the
read and
report.
reflect on it.
And also usually, or there's never anything in the report that we don't talk about before. At least not anything that could be, you know, like maybe something minor, but usually we talk about everything during the walkthrough, just so that, you know, once they get the report, there's nothing that, oh, like this we didn't know about, right? And this is something that, you know, it's usually, you know, maybe a light, maybe one of the lights didn't work, you know, something minor, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And how should people pick the right inspection company? What would you say about it?
Well, do some research, I guess. I mean,
Testimonials.
you could look at testimonials, yeah. Reference. I think reference is always a
That's a
good way
good
to
one.
go. Like if you have somebody that you know well and they had a good experience, then you're more likely to get that
That's right.
experience, right? Um, yeah, that's and obviously the certifications, right?
Yeah.
Uh, some bring their dad or their grandpa. Some bring a friend that's a contractor. That's all fine, but it's just they won't always know everything, or they won't know information about all the aspects of the house.
Makes sense.
Um, I've had quite a few dads
They do.
that they'll say something and they know for sure, and then you prove them wrong, right? But
Uh,
it's all fun. It's
I feel people in Canada they're more handy too. I don't think so. We had people our dads or right. We don't have handyman in our family in India though.
yeah.
It's very hard to fix even small issues. I mean, let's say you need to change the tap, which is a big deal for somebody who hasn't done it, but
hmm
it's basic too. Right?
Yeah, I was raised in a farm where everything we kind of did ourselves, most of the things, right? So, uh, kind of had to learn how to do most of the things, but also having a very curious mind. Like if I see something in a house, I'm not 100% sure what it is, because in the end of the day, like if somebody installed some kind of a system or device that isn't very common to Winnipeg, then you have to do some research, and I will normally not go to sleep before I figure that out. Just even for my own self, right? I like to know things, and if I don't know, I will not rest until I have contacts that I reach out. I know a very good HVAC technician that will help me out if I see something and I just want to know more information about it.
Hmm.
I mean, there's also other ways to do that, but yeah, it's always better to go to somebody that has experience, and then if they don't know, then you can go further, right? But
Sure. Reference
but
works.
if your inspector claims to know everything, then maybe that's not a good sign. Because yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Sure, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in this one. Do you have any message for the viewers?
I would just say do your diligence when you buy a home. At least get a verbal consultation. There's always information that is very important for buyers to know. Um, I would recommend the full inspection though, because I've gotten lots of calls from verbal consultations where they're asking about the house. And after I've been at that house, it's been probably 4 or 5 houses ago.
Makes sense.
And I
You don't
cannot,
recall
with a
the
good
memory.
conscience, say this is what it
What's
is,
been
because I
happening?
don't want to mix it up.
Yes.
So it's really, really good to have the report. I know it's more money, but it's a very good value,
Yes. 100%.
especially in these 3 years, I've gotten people to reach out, and they had questions about some things in the house. It's so easy for me to go to the report and look
Tell
it
them.
up, and I can give them an answer right away, right?
Mm.
And yeah,
That's pretty much it.
don't skip inspections.
Sure. Thank you,
Yeah,
Rob. Thank you for coming today.
yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
And I'm sure people would get to learn so much, or at least something from this podcast about inspections. And how can they find you?
Well, on Instagram, Rob
On
Bergen, Rob Inspector, or something like that, Instagram handle, or
also,
online, Rob Bergen, A Buyer's Choice, just on Google.
okay.
Yeah,
Would you like to drop your phone number?
yeah, 204
Mm-hmm.
930 7758.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And I hope this will bring you some more business. Thank you so much, man.
yeah, thank you.